Check. Is this on? Is this on? Everybody hear me? All right, everyone. Thank you for coming out to the track and field press conference to preview the indoor championship. We'll go ahead and get going. We'll start with Coach Harvey.
I was wondering if you were going to make an opening statement or not, or I was just going to go with the question. But
No,
we can go with a question that's kind of like an opening statement, in that 6 student athletes are headed to Virginia Beach. What's been working so well, other than the obvious great group of people, I'm sure? What's been working so well for everybody?
literally at the end of the day, talent is the most important thing that you have in the sport and any other sport. Our athletes, to the right here are working their butts off. They do a great job. They're sticking to the plan in which we have, laid out for them. With that being said, the talent level, is so high that it gives us an opportunity to be successful. With no disrespect to any other sport, in the NCAA, the two hardest sports to make the national championships, at any level, indoor track and field and adaptives. Indoor track and field, you only get the top 16 in each event to be able to qualify for the national championships. So basically, you're looking at the Sweet 16, if you will, in terms of any other sport. We had a young man that was 1/100th of a second off of getting to the national championships. And so it's sticking to the plan, having the talent, and then and having that support to be able to forge forward, to be able to do the things that that we're capable of doing in the sport.
Coach, just your first season in the Big 12, can you kind of go over what happened and kind of the experience after so many years in the Pac-12?
Yeah, so we're so excited because everyone was asking the question, are you ready for the Big 12? And my mindset was, no, is the Big 12 ready for us? And so the enjoyment and the excitement in an indoor competition, the energy level is entirely different. You won't get that in an outdoor meet. So everything, it's like a 3-ring circus. Everything is right there in front of your face. You're jumping, you're throwing, you're sprinting right there in your face. And I felt really, excited and strongly that all of our athletes competed at the highest level. And they were not coming in like, oh, whoa, Big 12. No, well, are y'all ready for us? And that's what, I think, the excitement was, and where where it took our program at in terms of being able to let the rest of the country see who we are.
You mentioned how exciting indoor is. How do you prepare your team for a different type of atmosphere than maybe what they've seen this year so far?
Yeah, so my educational background is from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and we're a learn by doing school. Okay? We don't have an indoor facility here. We get there the day before, and we learn by doing. When we get on the banks, and we do our pre-meet prep. But what we try to eliminate, in our message to our athletes is that it's not acceptable to have an excuse why you can't run fast or why you can't throw far because you're in an indoor facility and you don't have that. Either we participate or we don't participate, and that's why I'm so proud of everyone, of the coaches and the athletes that are here, because without exception, we get it figured out when we get to the facility.
Just going back to the Big 12 championship, can you talk about some of the individual performances of what some of these athletes mean to your program?
Wow. Yeah. So I'm going to start off with one that's very, very special, Travion White Austin. Okay. He's a young man that came through this community in our youth program, the Tucson Elite Athletic Club. and fought through a lot of things. And he's the fastest sprinter that we ever had in the history of the University of Arizona. And looking at what we've had here, Michael Bates won a bronze medal in Olympic Games. That young man ran faster. Okay? Super, super impressive. I look at, right down the line, we, by design, Travion, Zach Landa, we redshirted Zach, and a lot of people say, do you want to do that? Well, we want to give him an opportunity to be at this meet, and not just to get here, be an actual competitor when you get to the meet, And so looking at, how we plan that out and giving him the opportunity to be able to be a champion and be here, huge, huge for us. Just going down the line, Ronaldo, Rodriguez from, Brazil, our long jumper. Getting to the national championships, and especially in this event and this indoor event itself, it's huge. It's unbelievable. And I'm not going to go through the backstory. We had to change coaches. And all I asked was for faith. Okay? Believe me, we're hiring the right person to take you where you need to be. I don't care if you jump PRs at the Willie Williams. I don't care if you jump PRs, at the Desert Heat. Can you compete with the best when it matters, when the national championships roll around? He's one of 16. He's going to the national championships. I look at, Emma Gates, one of the best high jumpers out of high school, if not the best high jumper out of high school, had to go through some transition working with what I feel to be the best high jump coach and the best high jump program in the country. And it's learning and figuring out who I am, how I can jump, how do I get back to where I was in high school. Now we're going to the national championships at 190 and one of the best jumpers, in the country. Paris, okay? If you look at, what she did in high school, okay? She was a good Arizona high school athlete, okay? Now she's one of the best high jumpers in the country, competing with the top 16 in the country for an opportunity to be on the podium. And that, that's amazing. Now, last but not least, and I really saved this guy for last, okay? Tyler is my dude, man. We lift I don't lift, he lifts. We're in the weight room, but I liken him to Muhammad Ali, and I always throw stuff out at him because sometimes people, they boast and they brag and they say these things, but they don't really believe what's coming out of their mouth. They're just trying to make themselves feel better about things, right? When that man talks, he is telling you what he's going to do, and that for me is not bragging, it's like, this is what's getting ready to happen. And that group of people and my coaches that have prepared them, for this championship, it's not by chance, right? It is very well planned out, and we are excited to, see where, what we do when we get to Virginia Beach.
Just curious, how long have you known Paris? And her mom apparently is a world record holder in the decathlon.
Yeah.
And was it a long recruit?
Yeah.
Just her story.
So I've known Paris before she was even born. Okay? Her mom competed at Kansas State. One of my teammates way back at Cal Poly was a head coach there at Kansas State, and then Cliff Rivelto, who is one of the world's most renowned high jump coaches, coached her mom. And I think the most important thing in our sport is understanding development and being able to see if that athlete has the ability to transition and develop, Because we want to does not mean we're going to, okay? There is a part that you have to be able to see the ability to develop, and with a coach like Bob Myers, who is, again, in my mind, Coach Harveyism, the best high jump coach there is in the world. And records and marks and time, they speak for themselves.
With the indoor championships coming up, how do you prepare for that? Is it going off the experience? You've been here for a while. Is it just confidence in the national athletes that you have?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely, it's all preparation. Everything that we do, in terms of trying to peak our athletes at the right time, it's all about preparation. It's all about when my coaches say, these are the things that we're doing in training, this is the time that we're not going to compete at this competition. It's all for me to like, okay, what's the big vision? The big vision is we have to be able to hit it at the NCAA championships. So whatever, preparation we have, it's training, the training pattern and everything as far as what meets they're going to compete in. If you look at our schedule, it's one of the craziest things ever. If you're looking at it from the outside, it's like, where are these people going? You have athletes that are going to different meets for different reasons to prepare for this moment. And that's how we do it. And again, at the end of the day, it's all about the talent.
Okay, last one for me. I was going to ask you what keeps you going, but you can tell here from the way you're talking, you really still have the passion for this and then some. How much do you enjoy doing this?
I was born to be a coach. I was born to be a teacher, and as long as I have athletes that in administration that understand that is the most important thing, I get so excited. I had a training session at 9:30. We're having the press conference. We're going to be done. I'm going to change uniforms, and I'm heading out for another session at 9:30. As long as my athletes are excited about getting better, and this is the most important thing, better for everyone is different. I would love to be the starting center for the Los Angeles Lakers, but unfortunately, I'm 5'6.5", and I can't jump, but I have the will to do it. Yeah, well, that's great. I'm not going to be the center, okay? And when we have that within our athletes, and they're willing to take very, very good constructive criticism and development, that's what keeps me fired up, man. I have a youth club, Tucson Elite Athletic Club, got to give them a big shout out, that I have little babies out there that are fired up about just learning how to do the sport. And so that's me. I want to always be there to show those young people in our community of, Southern Arizona, that there's a place for them, and being honest with them. Maybe you're going to be an Olympian. Maybe you're not going to be an Olympian. But let's make you the best that you possibly can be at whatever level that's going to be for you.
Last question for me. Arizona's known as a basketball school, sometimes a football school. How do you take this type of program and make it relevant, keep it relevant for so many years?
So and again, a big shout out to our present administration is this. The numbers don't lie. We lie. People lie. Numbers don't lie. Okay? Track and field is the highest participant sport that there is in the entire United States. We just have to figure out how do we get that community, our community, more involved in what we're doing. And as we do that, then we're an Olympic sport, which the term was changed from non-revenue to Olympic sport. Okay? Play on words, if you will. I feel strongly and have much passion that understanding what our sport is, we can not only, transition into, a revenue sport, but the people that we touch in our community, and that's one of our pillars is the community of Southern Arizona. We can be absolutely amazing.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Stay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I don't know any of these people. Thank God. Same. I probably smell disgusting. I'm gonna give Kate this sweatshirt back and she's like, what the? Why are you laughing at me? You're laughing at me. He's laughing at us.
I'm just thinking of you being down there, being in there.
Oh, thanks, Bob.
Coach, would you like to start?
Yeah, I'm just really proud of these two young ladies up here. To be two of the top 16 in the NCAA this year is really quite an achievement, especially keeping in mind that this meet is even better than the U.S. Championships. There's so many international Olympians in this competition that it takes an awful lot to get to this meet in the women's high jump, and I'm really proud of how hard these two young ladies have worked this year to get to this level. And it's really kind of a dichotomy. They're kind of two different people. Emma came in as a top-ranked high school high jumper in the U.S. 3 years ago. Paris from Tucson, South Point High School, came in as a pretty good Arizona high jumper, not really nationally known or anything. But the really trick was for each of them to find their niche and to really find out how hard they can work to become an elite level athlete. They're both ranked like top 10 in the NCAA, top 10 in the United States, even higher in the United States right now, and internationally ranked now, both of them. So to be like in the top 10 or 15 of the world at this level, being two 20-year-olds is quite a remarkable achievement. But they just come out to practice every day. They bring it every day. They do all the little things. Their fueling, their diet. To be a high jumper, it's not just going out and working hard every day, but it's a lifestyle. And they've really committed to the things that they needed to do to become better. And I'm just really, really excited to be working with them and to have gotten to know them. And really bright to have Paris 2 more years and Emma another 1 or 2 years here at U of A. Thank you.
Paris, I recently did a story on a baseball player whose parents are world tennis champions. So not every athlete follows in their parents' footsteps. Did you always want to be a high jumper, or were you, I assume, exposed to it at a pretty early age?
Yeah, I've been exposed to it since I was in the stroller. I used to get pushed around while my mom practiced, and I've always been exposed to the sport, so I'd like to say it's in my blood. I played soccer growing up, but track was never my main focus until I got to high school, and my mom was like, I think you have a shot of going to a Division I school. So I started to put more energy towards that, quit club soccer, and yeah, ever since then, it's just been my main goal to be like my mom. And hopefully I can get there. Right now I'm beating her, so that's good.
Being from Tucson, what does it mean to represent your hometown school? What does it mean to be an Arizona Wildcat? Have you seen yourself grown over the last couple years?
A lot. I don't think I realized when I got here what it meant to represent my hometown. But just to see familiar faces in the crowd, and when I go to the chiropractor, I know his daughter. I went to high school with her, and he's like, I'm gonna come to your meets and everything, and it's a very proud feeling to represent my school or my high school and my hometown.
Emma, you're from Oregon, is that right? So did you grow up watching the Pac-12 championships, and what made you go to want to come here to U of A?
I did. So that was one of my goals, was to stay in the Pac-12 because a lot of the championships are in Eugene, and that's about an hour from my house. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons I chose to go here.
What about Arizona did you like?
Oh, Bob is a great coach, so that was one of the main factors of me coming here. He has a great history of high jumpers, so I was excited to see what I could do with his coaching.
Kind of on that same level, Coach, what made you choose the University of Arizona?
Well, I mean, I originally came here in 1978 as a graduate assistant coach and grad student. Had 14 years here and then finished my doctorate and became an athletic director and a college dean at a community college for 20 years. Retired, came back to Tucson, started volunteering with the guy that had my old position, and it has evolved. And after being a volunteer for many years, I was hired just about a year and a half ago to come back on the staff as a paid coach. So I'm lucky to be back. You know, there's red, white, and blue in my family. I've got degrees from U of A. My wife, my son, my daughter-in-law were all U of A grads, and so I love U of A.
Paris, you have a big Instagram, social media following, it looks like. How much fun do you have with that?
It's a lot of fun. I did it on accident. Like, I was just making videos with my friends, and then they started to do really well, and people were like, you should do NIL, and I was like, okay, like, sure. And I've just been able to make money off of it and have fun with my friends and create a lot of memories, especially at track meets. Like, we have a lot of off time. We get there like 5 days before we compete. So it's just fun to like make videos with our friends, and it passes time. I really enjoy it.
Well, you had really impressive performances in the Big 12 championships. Can you kind of talk about that experience and what you're expecting for the NCAA championships?
It was a lot of fun to get second and third. It was a little bit of an upset. I think we were ranked like second and fourth or something. So it was really cool to get those points for our team, and it was also Parrish tied her PR and I PR'd, so we were both really happy with how we did.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a lot of fun to compete with Emma and just to like see these girls that we've been competing with forever. It's just like a lot of fun. We make a lot of memories together.
Last one for me, I guess, for Emma. What are your expectations for the tournament and or the meet, I should say, in Virginia Beach, and what are you most looking forward to?
I'm really happy to be there. So Bob has a set goals in the beginning of the year, and two of my goals were to jump 190 and to go to nationals. So I'm just really happy to be achieving those goals, and I'm also just going to do my best and see what I can do placing wise.
Thank you.
Good?
All right. Do you guys want me to start, like a small introduction? All right, well, I'm going to share a quick story for a start. This is a true story. I'm actually on my way to University of Arizona after I got hired. I'm in a car, I think maybe 5 hours from Tucson, and I get a phone call for Ronaldo for the first time. And we're talking for a couple of minutes, and we start talking about the sport. And he says, you know what, Coach, I got to tell you something. I don't trust you. I was like, all right, that's good. So he goes in the full conversation, and he says, hey, you're coming from this school. I have never heard about you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do. And I just want you to know that I don't trust you, and you have to prove yourself to me. And I'm sitting there and trying to have a conversation. I'm like, oh, my God, this is going to be a long road. And that was the beginning of that relationship. We came here, we started working together, and eventually we're in a place going to the national championship. So I think overall, any story can start rough, and this one started with a just rough phone call, but with 100% commitment of a coach and 100% commitment of an athlete, I guess we came here. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a background of interesting beginning, and we're going to make it a golden story.
Ronaldo, what made you choose track and field? You're from Brazil, is that right?
Yeah.
Soccer's the big sport there, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What made you choose track and field growing up?
So I grew up playing soccer in Brazil, like everybody in Brazil. I'm come from a favela, so this is just a usual thing that we do, grow up playing soccer in the streets. But we had Rio 2016 Olympics in Rio, and that year I was exposed to the sport. I was coming back from school one time, and then my mom said, hey, I signed you up for this project. And I got there, I had a tryout for track, and my story just started over there. I met a coach. She gave me opportunities to go to private high school in Brazil, so I saw the opportunity to say, hey, there's a chance in here. I may switch sports, and then I can achieve different things, so that's how it started.
Coach, just you said it started rough. How has it kind of blossomed into what it is now? And just outside of his athletic talent, what makes Ronaldo Ronaldo?
Oh, that's a great question. Good job on that. Well, here's the thing. Ronaldo is a very, very smart, very intelligent human being. And also, he has a very long training age. What that means is that he is coming from an environment where he spent his years of track and field in a professional environment. And with that being said, he got to learn a lot of things about himself, about his body, and general awareness of what the track and field is and how should I feel, what should I do, what care should I take care of myself in order to become the best at what I do. So when you have an individual like that, he has a very high expectations. That doesn't have anything to do with the personality. That means that he is a tough personality, but he absolutely knows his body. He understands where he wants to be. His goals are set, and those type of individuals are the best to work with, but also the hardest. So through the beginning, the majority of thing was me and him communicating, because this dude is talented. I mean, he can do anything you want. He's jumping 26 feet. He is top 16 in a country where, you know, being top 16 in this event is almost, I mean, yeah, those results are making finals of Olympic Games. So that is the highest possible level of this event that he's talented to do. So everything that we had to do from the beginning was me detailedly explaining the plan and program, and he following through and understanding. But don't get me wrong, we spent, I mean, probably hundreds of hours talking after the practice, and why he doesn't trust me, why does he feel different, what do I think about it? So our relationship was not my way or a highway, and he said the same thing. It's not going to be my way or highway, but we have to work together. So with somebody who is mature like that, it's exciting to work because you get to problem solve. Because his feedbacks about anything that we do is very credible because he understands it. So it's a very stressful when you have somebody very knowledgeable at track and field, but it's so exciting because he pushes my boundaries and expectations that I have for him to give 100% and to do on the track and outside of the track to the fullest. He has the same expectation for me. So when I'm at home at midnight, I'm thinking about my group. What am I going to do outside and put myself in an uncomfortable situation, because that's what I'm expecting from him. And I think that that personality of his is just very strong-willed, very powerful individual in his mind, and I think that so far we look like a good match.
And then just from your end, you said you didn't trust him at first. He's touched on it, but what was like on your end, how to build that trust, how to be where you are now?
In the beginning, it wasn't nothing personal against him. I had to put my foot in the door and kind of like explain who I was, and just explain to him that he wasn't just working with just some like any athlete. You know, he was working with Ronaldo. I don't know who I am. That's the thing. And then when he got here, I just kind of like let him prepare. That I had a lot of knowledge. I had a lot of experience and come from Brazil. I had a great coach over there, and that I was expecting the same from him. You know. Like I told him, like, he's going to give me any workout, I'm going to give him 100% of me, but I also want him to give him 100% in the track in terms of planning, in terms of what we're doing, in terms of where we're going. So that was the thing for me. Now I kind of trust him. We're getting there. We're doing progress. We're achieving things that I never achieved before, and that's how you build, you know, confidence. And I'm glad he got here. We're from different backgrounds. He's from Serbia. I'm from Brazil, and we kind of like find each other in this mix. So I'm just happy he had the same mentality that I have. We have the same expectations, and we're just working together. But everything now is fine, and we're doing a great job.
Last one for me. What do you tell people about Tucson when you're asked from people back home, and what type of music do you listen to before their practice or a big meet?
Tucson and Rio, where I'm from, is very close but very far away too. I would say the heat is the same, but in Rio we have the beach. We just enjoy ourselves. We have a lot of things out there. And Tucson over here, I feel like it's more like a university city. Everything over here is around the university. So when I got here, I came with the mentality of working and taking advantage of the things that I didn't have in Brazil. So when I just go there, I just kind of just see on my social media and the stuff that I achieve, the facilities that I practice, and be excited because I'm having the opportunity that a lot of people don't have in Brazil. So I just take advantage of that. And in terms of music, I listen a little bit of everything. I'm more like a reading guy, so I read a lot, like a Bible and stuff like this before competitions, and that's my to-go.
I have one for Reynaldo. Your postseason experience is pretty growing in depth here. What do you take from the outdoor championship experience to this indoor opportunity?
You mean last year? Mm-hmm. It was great. Last year was my best outdoor season. I achieved my PR, and I also was third in the national championship in Brazil. That brought me a lot of confidence coming into indoor. Every year, I think I've been able to achieve different things. Since my freshman year, I qualified for nationals. My second year, I placed third in Pac-12. My third year, I was third in my country. So every year, I'm achieving something different, and I'm just excited to achieve a new thing, which is being an All-American indoor. So yeah, very excited. I think my mindset is great. I am just focused, and I just want to get there and get the job done.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We have a typical weight capacity up here. Pretty close. Used to having football guys. We should go.
Got to make sure it's reinforced.
A couple of failed linemen up here. Sure.
We make up half of an O-line.
Yeah, right. Good. Tom, I just wanted to check first that the weight capacity up here is okay for the three failed linemen. Okay. Howdy, gang. Coach McKay. This is year 3 at Arizona, and last year we struck out on nationals with a few red shirts, so really happy, and those chips on our shoulders are feeling a little less heavy going into this championship season, taking 2 shot putters to compete with the best. Zach's in his senior year. Tyler's in year 2. This will be Zach's second trip to nationals, one outdoors in Austin, where we gained some experience. We were not in love with the result, but love the experience, and has put in a lot of work in the off season. So really consistent this season with his results, and we've got a personal best hanging out there that we're going to go try to claim. And Tyler's sitting there right on his heels as the young gun, a few inches away. And like everyone else has said before, top 16 is basically we're in the round of 16 already. So in the shot put, it's a game of inches, like most big power sports. And so getting your energy moving in the right direction and getting just a little extra flick off the ball could mean 1 to 6 inches, could mean placing, from the top 3, down to 9 or 10. Really excited to be working with these guys in all their events. Right now we're in shot put mode, heading into these next few days, heading back east. Excited to get on the circles and in the venue out there. None of us have been there before, so reaching out to our back east friends and asking what the surface of the circle is like and what the venue is like, and all those things, trying to get a little bit of a scouting report on that side. But look, University of Arizona's had great throwers since I was in high school. I took an official visit here back when football and track was still my jive, and have kept an eye on the program for the years. The top 10 list in the throws at Arizona is, I don't know, I don't think that there's a better top 10 list. I've compared a few, and having 3 or 4 coaches during those 30, 40 years probably helped solidify that. So
Really happy to be kind of in this new chapter, starting year 3 here, and excited to go put some marks out against these putters.
Okay, it'll be for both of you. Coach just mentioned that there's been some good shot putters who have come through Arizona and thrown here. What does that mean to you? What have you learned from maybe somebody like Jordan, and what does it mean for you to be following in their footsteps and throwing a shot put for Arizona?
Yeah, so I spent 4 years with Jordan here. I came in as a young 18-year-old, just turned 18 in July coming in. School started in August. Jordan was already 21 or 22 years old, so I kind of had some big shoes to fill when he came in, but I try to be like a sponge. I just try to soak it all up, try to learn from him. He's quiet like me, doesn't talk a lot, so I try to lead by example like he did. And he just passed on all the knowledge he could down to me, and so trying to sort of carry down that legacy of, like Coach said, we have a really, really good history of shot putters, and we're now on that list too.
I was 1 year shy of being teammates with Jordan, so I never got that opportunity, but just having him around has been huge. I'm originally from Chicago, and he was able to come out last summer before my U20 meet in Peru. So just having him and being able to pick his brain, because he was in a similar position as I was going into that meet, was just super helpful, because he has all of the experience that I don't have yet.
What did it mean for you to place first in the Big 12 championships, and how do you try to maybe get those same results and try to chase that, if you want to call it chasing?
What does it mean to be a Big 12 champ? Everything. That's why we put all the work in. That's why we do what we do, to put some points up for our team, but also come back with some hardware. And it didn't go the way I had planned originally, but I fought, and I got the mark, and I won on that day. Coming in, I wasn't supposed to win on paper, but I was the best on that day, and I did what needed to be done. So just a really, really good feeling.
It's awesome to have the group that we do have, and especially having a big group. Most universities don't have the opportunity to have 9 throwers. And to be able to have 9 throwers and be able to have the hardest competition that you'll have in the country be wearing the same logo as you has been our biggest advantage. We were number 2 shot put school in the country. We were the number 8 weight school in the country as well. And there's not many schools in the country that are able to claim a top 10 ranking in 2 events. So just being able to have the older guys just really helps us as a younger group be able to perform, and kind of gives us something to look forward to, trying to claim those titles.
Some sports like football or basketball, right? They've got 60 minutes or 40 minutes to get it right, but you only have so many throws. How do you handle the mental aspect of being a shot putter?
Yeah, you get 3 throws to make it. You get 3 throws for a chance to get 6 throws total. So, like basketball, 60 minutes, football, like it goes by really fast, just like those other sports, and you have to take advantage of it. You can't waste a rep. You can't waste. Time is precious, so you kind of have to. You have to focus in. You have to hone in. You have to trust yourself to get those 6 throws and make it happen.
I like to stay loose. I notice when I tense up, it doesn't go very well. So just being able to calm down in between, since you do compete for about 2 seconds, and then now you have about 3 to 7 minutes in between each throw, and just being able to hang out with my teammates and stuff like that, and kind of take my mind off of the big event, helps me out a lot.
We made a slight adjustment with Tyler. The psychological aspect of they're both individually a little bit different. So one may be heavy metal, one may be hip hop, on their playlist, and the vibes they need to get into, emotional, mental state. It was after meet 1 or meet 2 with Tyler, we were talking about what are we doing in between throws, what are you thinking? And we realized that we were maybe watching the competition a little bit more, and spending, if the comp's 45 minutes and you get 3 collectively to do your thing, we're spending a bunch more time watching others. It didn't seem detrimental, but we kind of made this shift. We went to New Mexico, and we tried out this new psychological, take on, so he just turned his back on the whole competition and just talked to me and talked with whoever was at the concession stand and kind of stayed focused at his drills and just kind of neglected everyone behind him. And we had our best meet at that point. So he's like, it was like round 2. He said, I think there's something to this here, so I'm going to maybe keep ignoring those things. It was just kind of the focus and the energy that we needed to. So you get 3 throws. Sometimes it'll be 16 people, so you just wait in line, wait in line, wait in line. So they'll usually step away, take 2 minutes to put your gear back on, walk away, do a drill, grab a water, look at the film, review. So it's when the offense is off the field, you're reviewing stuff, you're going in with your plan of attack for the next round. It just happens, kind of cyclical. So they've done a good job, but everyone's a little bit different with that. So they've made really good adjustments this year with in-game adjustments.
Can you just kind of talk about the relationship with these 2 guys and kind of what they mean to the program and kind of how close you are to them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of small group sessions, so we can't always talk about push on the ball harder, load your left more, sweep your right leg. It's like 4 years of that gets pretty repetitive. So we talk about a bunch of other stuff in between stuff too. But looking at where Zach was at physically and like in the sport when he came in, and looking at when I got him, I guess junior year, and then a redshirt, now on to now. Completely different human physically, and able to push weights in the weight room. That's where we should probably have some cameras, is see the weight that these dudes move, and a lot of athletes on the team, just pound for pound kind of stuff. So yeah, we spend a lot of time out there. You get to know about family stuff. You get to know about food things. You get to know about emotional states with academics and everything else. So that's all part of what they're able to put out on the field. Zach came in as a discus thrower. He was better as a discus thrower as a youth, and then kind of grew into the shot put a little bit more. But we've been throwing the hammer and kind of introduced the weight last year. Any other year, he would have qualified for the NCAA championships in the weight throw as well. It's historically really deep right now. Zach's mark actually surpassed Jordan Geist's mark in the weight throw on the all-time list. We just don't get a chance to go do it because some other people had some other ideas too. But looking forward to riding through this senior year with him. I think we still have something up our sleeves in the discus, come outdoors, and we'll keep playing around with the hammer as we need to for Big 12 points and conference finishings. And then Tyler's got a full, we're just on the coming up to midway point here. So we retired the discus pretty early on that freshman year, but we've picked up the hammer as well, and that's progressing really well. Totally different recruiting scenarios. Like I got to school and Zach was already on the roster. Tyler was going to go to Grand Valley State and play football and throw a bit, and senior year went better than expected in the shot put, so it was kind of a late ad, and it was the easiest recruiting I've ever done for the biggest payback, so I really love that part about it. Really patient and understanding and trusting family to say in July, I don't know what college I'm going to next month. Usually doesn't happen that often, especially out of state. But we're really, I think with the standard being Jordan Geist in the shot put, you gotta do a lot to get up to that point, and that of recent has been the standard for these guys. So I kind of feel bad for that, but also like, well, we're doing it, so we're gonna be pretty good at it. And like Harvey said, some of the all-time list people have become Olympians, and they're better than them at 18, 19, 20 years old. So really looking forward to seeing what they can do with this if they want to pursue it post-college. And I'm sure everyone's supporting here would be helpful.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, same thing. I guess I'll do a little quick intro on Mr. Travion White Austin. This is year 21 for me. I've been here for a little bit. And every second of every day I've enjoyed coaching this young man. I've known him since he was 8 years old. like we said, he's from Tucson, and he is someone, when you look at him, he's very unassuming. Most people don't realize just how big and powerful he is, just based on his size. But he has the heart of a lion. He has the work ethic of anybody out there. He just is someone who trains hard, works hard. He's always positive. He's the best teammate. His teammates are in the room. They look up to him, and he's extremely, extremely inspiring. I keep trying to encourage him every day to tell his story because it's pretty powerful. But he's a man of few words, so I'm hoping he talks a little bit more today. But yeah, he's just been a privilege to coach, easy to coach, and I'm just really, really, really excited to watch him at this national championship meet. He has worked hard for it, and then this is his final season as a Wildcat. He doesn't have an outdoor season, so he will venture on to the next step in life, and I'm excited to see that part of his journey as well. Just a little bit about his development. Coming in high school, and he's like I say, he's from Tucson. He was pretty big in high school here. He went to junior college for a couple years, and then from what he told me, he's always wanted to be a Wildcat. And so once he came to Arizona, I don't know if he thought he knew how good he was, but just over time and every rep and everything that goes into being one of the best sprinters has taken a lot of work. And with sprinting, kind of again what some of the other coaches said, when you look at that depth chart or you look at the list of talent that has been in this program from a sprints perspective, Travion being one of the best to do it, what really goes into that is the power, the speed, the strength development. What we do in the weight room is our X's and O's. And so I just really have to credit Ben Hollander for the work that he's done with not only Trey, but the entire sprint crew. He's really helped develop him to get him a lot stronger. And that is a big part of what has gone into Trey running as fast as he has. And to me, he's one of the best starters in the country. I've always told him that. And so when I look at where he's at now, it's not surprising at all, because he's built for this. He's built for the indoor track. He's an all-around amazing young man. So I'm excited for y'all to get to know him a little bit more, and can't wait to get out to Virginia to see what he does.
Wow, that's a lot, Travion. When you hear all that, what do you think? Also, Coach Harvey, getting emotional talking about your story, how does that make you feel?
It's pretty great. Like, I grew up wanting to be a Wildcat. And like ever since I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna go to U of A, I'm gonna run track and all this, and it just feels good to like, actually make it happen and make an impact on people.
You had a personal best in Lubbock and a school record. What does it kind of mean to leave that kind of legacy within the program, and your name's going to be here for a good while?
It feels good. I kind of told my teammates, like, okay, I might be leaving this year, but I'm going to make my records unbeatable for you guys. But, like, I'm wanting them to beat my records, but I said I'm going to make it hard for you to beat them.
You still have a big event to go, so I don't want to jump the gun here, but describe the last 4 years and describe your time here as a student athlete at the University of Arizona after growing up here in Tucson.
It was pretty good. You know, I came in. I didn't come in like too fast. You know, Coach King kind of took a gamble on me, but I came in, ran a pretty good 10-2, and then I kind of had like a off year that year just from like my body. I didn't really take good care of my body. Then these last few years, I've been working more on like taking care of my body, eating right, having like a good diet, and that helped me out a lot, as you could tell, like from this year.
Coach kind of mentioned the relationship you have with your teammates, and they're here now, and you've told them you want to leave a legacy that they can't beat. What is that kind of going into the motivation and to your performances and just overall morale?
Yeah, I just do it for my teammates. I do it for my family. I do it for my coach, and just do it all for them. And I just want to be a good example for them and set a good example for them.
One for me, Trey. When you finished that race at Big 12 Championships and we saw that little celebration from you near the end, how did that feel to pull away from the field like that?
I mean, it felt good. You know, I've always like, you know, I was an underdog coming in, but it really felt good to like come out on top. You know,
What went into that kind of performance for you?
confidence.
How do you build that confidence before the race?
Just from racing, you know, I've raced like the fastest people in the world, like Noah Lyles and all them. So, like racing like other college athletes, like it's less nerve-wracking than racing like the Olympic champion.
And so going into the championship indoor, how do you keep that confidence from the Big 12 and execute on that at the, you know, the big stage?
Just executing my warm-up, you know, eating right like the day before, and just like coming in with confidence, knowing that I could race with these guys and I'm just as good as these guys.
When you routinely break your own record, one could say, well, how do you keep motivated to keep breaking your own record, you know? But how do you continue to execute and break your own record like that?
I can't answer that. I just do it. You know, yeah. You know. Yeah.
Just, can I just? So, let me just add a little bit for him. Trey should give himself credit. It's what we do in the sprints it's hard. It's not easy. And last year he was fortunate to compete at the Olympic trials in the 100 and the 200. And he did get to race the world's best athletes. And if any of y'all follow the Olympics or you pay attention to that, the sprint events are usually, not I'm saying all, sorry y'all, I'm not saying all, but that's usually some of the events that are some of the premier events that people watch. And it's really, really tough to make that team. And him and one of his other teammates, Tyson Tippett, were two that made it to the Olympic trials in the 100 and the 200 and raced against the world's best. And, you know, just like you have to learn how to win, you also have to learn how to lose. And as you're going through those experiences and those opportunities when they come, you do build confidence. And so we've worked a lot on just him learning to compete bigger and stand taller and be bigger than what he is, because that part matters. And then confidence comes as you start to have those positive experiences and all of those things happen. And so knowing going into Lubbock when he ran, I pretty much just said to him, hey, this is it. You know, you have to leave a mark and you're ready to. You've been training at a higher level than you have since you've been here. And so you just have to go show him who you are. And he did that. And he came in ranked 9th and finished 1st. We're going into Virginia Beach ranked 7th or 8th, and we're going to win it all. So that's what you do when you're just trying to be the best. So I'm proud of him.
That's all for today. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate you.